Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. So in this video, we're going to discuss Leetcode problem of the day, and today's problem is unique number of occurrences and it is an easy level problem. So the problem says that we have been given an array of integers and we have to return true if the number of occurrences of each value in the array is unique, right? So I just got confused by the statement for the first time. So let me just explain you this particular part. So I can just, yeah. So I have these array elements, right? Now if I just write their frequency, so the frequency of 1 is 3 here, the frequency of 2 is 2 here, and the frequency of 3 is 1 here, right? So you see these three are distinct numbers. We have to consider the frequency of these numbers and find out whether they are unique or not. If there are two elements whose frequency is unique, so for example if there was one more 3 here, so the frequency of 3 would have become 2, then the answer will be false in this case, right? But if there is only one 3, that means this is 3 like this and this is 1, right? Then the answer is going to be true. This is what you want. So how can we actually solve this problem? This problem is very simple. Since all the elements that the array length is only up to 1000, we can create a frequency array of size 1000. So we can create it of 1001, right, to store the 1000 frequency as well. Now once I have this array, I can initialize all of the values with 0. That basically means this particular frequency has not been taken. Now we can just count the frequency of all the elements and check whether these frequency has been taken before or not. So there can be multiple ways of counting the frequencies. One of the ways is to sort the elements. Let's say we just sort v dot begin and v dot end, right? Once we sort the whole array, what will happen is all the similar elements will be grouped together. So for example, this particular array 1, 1, 1, 2, 2 and 3. So now what I can do is I can initialize my count with 1 and I start from this particular position, right? So as long as these elements are similar, I'm just going to increase my count. So when I reach here, my array elements, the current element and the previous elements are going to be different. That means I have started a new element. At this particular position, my count value will be 3. Why? Because initially the count was 1. At this particular position, it will become 2. At this particular position, it will become 3. And when I come here, these array elements are different. So these array elements are different. I have got the frequency of the previous element. I can check whether this frequency has been taken before or not. If this frequency has been taken before, my answer is going to be 0 and I am just directly going to return false. Otherwise, I am going to mark this particular frequency 3 as taken. So f of 3 will now become 1, right? And I reinitialize my count with 1 at this particular position. I move to this particular second position, count becomes 2. I move to this particular position. I see that the previous and the current elements are different. That means I have started a new element and the current count is 2, right? I check whether this count 2 has been taken or not. If it has not been taken, I just mark count of 2 as 1 and reinitialize my count with 1, right, for this particular element. Now when the array has been exhausted, again I will have to check whether this count, final count, has been taken or not, which will be the frequency of the last elements, right? And if it has not been taken, my answer will be 1. Otherwise, if it has been taken, my answer will be 0. So this is actually one way of solving this particular problem. There would be multiple other ways of solving the same problem. So what I've done is I've just sorted the whole array and then I just create a frequency vector of size 1001 and initialize with 0. I've initialized my count with 1. Now I'm just going through all the values, and if array of I is not equals to array of I minus 1, that means I've started a new element. If this particular count has been taken, I just return 0 from here, so the answer will be false. Otherwise, I mark f of count as 1 and the count variable itself as 1 also. If they are not the same, I am just going to increment the count. At the end, I just return if this count position is available. So if f of count is already true, I am just going to return false, that is the not of this particular value, and if it is false, I am just going to return true. So let me quickly submit this and show you that this particular code works. So you see this passes all the test cases and this solution is absolutely correct. And let me just quickly show you how this particular thing is very misleading. Currently it shows 0 millisecond and it beats 100% of users with C++. Now if there is some way I can show you my previous summations. So I go to summations. Okay, so I'm not aware of this new layout. So can I open my, yeah. So you see this, the same code, this is exactly the same code here. So this has taken 5 milliseconds and has beat only 39, approximately 40% of the users. It is the exact same code. The other one is taking 0 millisecond and this one is taking 5 milliseconds. So I highly recommend you to not fall into the trap of this particular runtime. It's fine to a certain extent, but it's sometimes misleading. So that is what I wanted to convey. So that is it for this particular video. I hope that you guys were able to understand the solution. If you guys did, then consider dropping a like on this video, and don't forget to share thoughts in the comments, because your engagement with this particular video really helps the YouTube algorithm to understand that this video is actually helpful for you, and it will be able to reach much more people like you who want to keep solving new problems. So that is it for today. Till the next video drops, keep coding, stay safe, bye bye.